So Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the newest Disney Plus Marvel series. It now has 2 episodes out. It's been out for 2 weeks, and I still haven't made a review, so here's my thoughts. So Falcon and the Winter Soldier was directed by Kari Slogan or something like that. Stars Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. And the first episode follows Bucky as he is pardoned and dealing with the aftermath of being the Winter Soldier. And it also follows Falcon as after he's blipped back into existence what him and his sister are dealing with. And the second episode follows the two coming together to stop the Flag Smashers, who is this group that is trying to completely eliminate or doing something to try to make the world how it was during the blip. So I was very excited for the series. When I saw the first trailer, I was like, meh, doesn't look that good. And then I watched it again, and it looked mwah. And then I watched the second trailer, and that looked amazing. So I was very, very hyped for this show. Also, sorry I'm here, stayed the night at my grandparents, had fun, rented some movies, rented the Wrong Turn reboot. That should be really good. I also rented SAS Red Notice, but I'm not sure if I'm going to watch that one, so stay tuned for at least my Wrong Turn review. I still have to review Earwig and all that more at the end of the video, but also make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and comment down below what were your opinions on the first 2 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I was originally planning on just waiting until the whole show was out to review it, but I had to make a review right here, so here is my thoughts, and let's get in. Also, I am going to be making 2 parts of this. Well, it's going to be in one video, but first part is going to be first episode quick review, second part's going to be second episode quick review. So just to let you know, and then I'll review episode 3, and then 4, then 5, and 6, and then till the series is done. With that said, here I talk about episode 1. Out of these 2 episodes, this is my favorite. Not that the second episode sucked, I think this is the one with the least problems, because here, I think this episode is near perfection. It's so good. This episode is stunningly good. Wow. My favorite part of this episode was how this is a character deep dive into who Falcon and the Winter Soldier is. Winter Soldier is this guy who I never really liked, because you don't really get this much backstory. Well, you do, but I just never really liked this character. And in this show, so far with the first 2 episodes, he's now one of my new favorite Marvel characters, because they're developing him so dang well. His development is stunningly good. The Falcon was a little bit not interesting to me, but it was a bit interesting just to see how things are coming down to. But the main thing here is Winter Soldier, and then when you realize he killed this guy's son, that carries so much emotion as who this guy is, and he also has some very comedic moments going on this date. That brings me to a problem with the whole series, and I don't really consider this a problem. I just think it's a little minor issue I have, but it's not a problem. The comedy. The comedy feels, sometimes it's really funny, sometimes it could be too babyish. It feels like natural MCU comedy. Sometimes it just doesn't feel fit for this kind of seriousness this show has. And it's not a big problem. I'm not fully against that. No. It's just something that I have to state, because it just feels a little bit off on how they do that. But the comedy in this episode was really, really funny. The first action sequence in the beginning is stunningly good. And it's one of the 3... Well, this was a big one, and the 2 others were very minor. This action sequence was stunningly good. I first watched this at a church retreat. We never finished it because everybody wouldn't shut up, so I just went to sleep and finished, or just restarted the whole episode on my phone and then watched it with my family. But watching this action sequence, everybody was like, oh, the camera shots are kind of weird. I was like, no, this camera shots is very, very good. Very, very great cinematography and very, very great action. The performances are kind of stunning as well. Sebastian Stan never really gave off as this great performer in this movie. Devil All the Time, he was fantastic in that film. But in the MCU, he was just boring. In this show so far, he is really good, and Anthony Mackie is amazing as always. So far, that episode was great. The character development was easily my favorite part of the episode. So I'd have to give the first episode an A, 9 out of 10, and 4 stars. First episode was really good. Now we're gonna go on the second episode. I like the second episode, not as much as the first, even though it'd be kind of hard to rank them because this show improves on a lot of things, but also deproves on a lot of things. I want to start off with a negative, and that is, this episode seems to jump from one thing to the next way too quickly. Like, you meet this one guy, and you don't really have time to figure things out and think through before you get Bucky arrested. Sorry, I had to think of it. And then Bucky gets arrested, and then he has another therapy session. That's just trying to bring the two characters together, and then instantly you meet this guy, the Captain America figure again, bringing us back to the first episode. I forgot to mention that I wasn't a big fan of that twist at the end, but the second time I watched it, I really liked that twist. But we're done talking about the first episode. So you meet that guy, then you think it's Hydra, so then they go to Zemo, and it just jumps way too quickly to the next, and it's not, it feels oddly paced. Now, I didn't dislike this episode. The action is really good. The truck sequence was amazing. Really funny, too. Falcon saying, that old girl just kicked your butt because we are Christians and we don't use the language he uses. But it was just so very good action in this show. And that piece was stunning. Bring back to the comedy, I think these two characters have very great interactions, and they can be very funny, but it just kind of doesn't mix with the seriousness of the show so far, just to throw that out there. So the comedy is a bit off, but I think it's really funny, it just feels off, but these two characters have very good interactions when they're together. It's like they are friends who argued back and forth, and it is very funny, and they do a very good job, and that's kind of what leads me to enjoy this episode so dang much. I don't hate that Captain America. Well, I don't really like his character. They're kind of making him out to be a bad character, so I can't really like him, and I really wish I could like him, but I don't. I can't like him. As you see right here, wearing a Captain America shirt to support the show. This Captain America is the only good Captain America. This guy, they're portraying him not to be a likable character. They're portraying him to be a goody-goody, and I really want him to be a likable character. It's really kind of sad how they're not making him a likable character, so I can't really like him. But it's clear he's going to be the villain of the series. The Flag Smashers. I want to talk about the Flag Smashers at the villains, and I really like them. Looking for an intriguing story. Like the Super Soldier. I believe there was a comic series based on this, and I believe that's something I've been wanting to get adapted into a movie, and bringing it into the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series is really good, and I really am pretty much enjoying these villains as a whole. Captain America, bringing us back to him, he was pretty cool, and yeah, he was pretty cool, and I think he'd make a good villain. I just don't think he'd make a great villain. Overall, this episode was worse than the first, only because of the pacing and how it jumps from jump. But overall, I think the show is really good. I'd have to give this episode an A-, an 8 out of 10, and 3.5 stars. It's a little worse, only because of the jump, but I think if I watch it again, I'd really like it, because I've only seen that episode once. But I really do like the show. As a whole, I'd give the show an A, a 9 out of 10, or an 8.5 out of 10, actually, probably. And then 4 stars I'd have to give it. Anyways, this has been a Zach Review Chat production. I will have to review Earwig later this week. It's Easter break for me, so I'll have enough time. But tomorrow, probably no video, because I'm going to take my written test so I can drive. Very excited. Wish me luck, guys. But also, just to let you know, I still have to review Earwig, Rented Wrong Turn, and if I can watch Sass Red Notice, I will watch that as well. And overall, I'm very excited for this week. I have a lot of videos I have to make. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell down below. Godzilla vs. Kong comes out Wednesday, and I remembered my dad's off work, so it's Easter break. So maybe Thursday, or maybe even Wednesday, we can watch Godzilla vs. Kong, so I'll have to review that too. I just now realized that, and I'm very freaking excited. But, of course, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell. Comment down below, what do you think of Falcon and the Winter Soldier episodes 1 and 2? I'll be back to review episode 3 this next weekend. And with that said, make sure to always subscribe to Join the Nerd Army. Peace out.